You watch a UFC fight. You see a guy land 3 clean punches in a row. And immediately, somewhere in the comments section, someone calls him one of the best boxers in MMA history. But here's the thing. That person has never watched a round of boxing in their life. And the fighter they just crowned might not even make it out of the first round against a regional boxing prospect. That's not an insult. That's the reality. Because there are levels to boxing inside the cage, and most fans have never been shown where those levels actually begin and end. The term elite boxer gets thrown around so carelessly in MMA that it has almost lost its meaning. A knockout is not the same as boxing skill. Power is not the same as technique. And a highlight reel is not a resume. The fighters who actually understand the craft, who use footwork, who slip punches, who set traps with the jab, who throw combinations with purpose, those fighters are rarer than most people realize. So today you are going to see the 7 levels of UFC boxers. And by the time you reach the top, you might start watching fights very differently. Level 1 is the swinger. You have seen this fighter. You have probably cheered for this fighter. Their entire striking philosophy can be explained in one sentence. If I throw enough punches, eventually one of them has to land. There is no setup. There is no footwork. Head movement exists only by accident. But here is what makes them dangerous anyway. In MMA, one punch can genuinely end a fight at any moment. So the swinger is never truly harmless. They are like a broken slot machine that occasionally pays out a jackpot. Derek Lewis is the clearest modern example. The man has knockout power that belongs in a different sport. His hands can rearrange someone's entire Tuesday. But watching him box is not a masterclass in technique. It is a masterclass in survival and timing. His game plan has always been simple. Stay on your feet long enough for one of those hands to land. And when it does, the fight is over. Level 2 is the brawler. The brawler is an upgrade. They actually have some boxing skills. They can throw a real combination. They understand what a jab is for. But here is the problem. The moment the fight gets difficult, they abandon everything they know and turn it into a street fight. They would rather be tougher than smarter, and sometimes that works. Justin Gaethje, in the early part of his UFC career, was almost a perfect brawler. He had genuine boxing ability. The footwork was there. The combinations were real. But once the exchanges started, something clicked in his brain and he decided the best strategy was to walk into punches and hit harder ones back. His fights looked like 2 people trying to see who would fall down first. They were brilliant to watch. They were terrifying for anyone who cared about either fighter's long-term health. And he usually won, which made it even harder to argue against. Level 3 is the pressure boxer. Now you're entering territory where real boxing IQ starts to show. These fighters understand angles, they understand combinations, but their main weapon is something invisible to the casual eye. It is relentlessness. They make you uncomfortable from the first second to the last. Every step forward means you have to make a decision. Every combination forces a reaction, and those reactions open doors. Max Holloway lives at this level. He is not the biggest hitter in his division. He is not the fastest on paper. But his boxing volume is genuinely absurd by any standard. He will throw meaningful combinations for 5 complete rounds, and somehow look fresher at the end than the person absorbing them. Opponents do not lose to Max because they get hurt in one exchange. They lose because they spend 25 minutes being slowly buried under a weight of punches they cannot answer. By the final minute of round 5, they are not losing the fight. The fight has already been decided by the weight of everything that came before. Level 4 is the counterpuncher. This is where boxing starts to look almost unfair. These fighters do not chase you. They wait for you to make a mistake. And then they punish you so cleanly for that mistake that you immediately stop wanting to make another one. The trap is psychological. You know the counter is coming. You tell yourself you will not overextend, but their positioning and patience make you feel like you need to throw. And the moment you do, the punishment arrives before your punch even lands. Prime Conor McGregor operated at this level better than almost anyone in MMA history. It was not the power that made his counter left hand so destructive. It was the fact that opponents knew exactly where it was coming from and walked into it anyway. He built the entire architecture of the fight around that one punch. He manipulated distance, controlled the pace, made the opponent feel like they had to close the gap, and then removed the lights the moment they tried. That is not just power. That is chess played at speed. Level 5 is the technician. This is where casual fans start missing things. Because the technician does not always deliver the clean finish. They do not always deliver the moment that ends up on the highlight reel. What they deliver is something quieter and more precise. They control where the fight happens. They manage range. They win tiny exchanges that nobody notices until the scorecards come back. They make adjustments round by round that shift the entire dynamic of a fight without a single dramatic moment. Petr operates close to this level. His boxing is clean in a way that is almost uncomfortable to watch if you know what you're looking for. The footwork is deliberate. The combinations build on each other. His defensive responsibility is not reactive, it is proactive. He does not just move out of the way of punches. He positions himself so that punches are thrown into spaces where he already is not. That distinction matters more than it sounds. Level 6 is the boxing specialist. At this point, boxing is not a weapon inside a broader MMA game. Boxing is the game. These fighters enter the octagon with a level of hand skill that genuinely transcends the sport they are competing in. They are not good boxers for MMA. They are simply good boxers, full stop, who also know how to compete in a cage. Jorge Masvidal is a name that belongs in this conversation. Before the celebrity, before the viral moments, before the internet made him a meme, Masvidal was quietly sharpening his hands for over a decade. The timing, the defense, the bodywork, the ring intelligence accumulated through hundreds of fights against opponents who were not giving him anything easy. Cody Garbrandt is another name. At his best, Cody's boxing was a genuinely rare thing to watch inside an octagon. His performance against Dominic Cruz remains one of the most technically impressive, striking displays the sport has produced. The head movement, the timing of the counters, the ability to make Cruz look almost ordinary, that was not an accident. That was what happens when real boxing skill reaches the surface. Level 7 is the boxing god. You do not describe this level. You point at it and let the evidence speak. These fighters do not just box better than their opponents. They seem to exist in a separate sensory experience. They see things before they happen. They make adjustments that are invisible to everyone in the arena. And they make world-class fighters look like people who have never been shown how to slip a punch. Anderson Silva is the name that sits at the top of this conversation. Technically, he is known as a striker, which is accurate, but incomplete. What Silva did with his boxing instincts was closer to art than combat. He could make elite opponents miss by a full foot and then make them pay before they recovered their balance. He dropped his hands. He smiled. He invited you to throw, and then he made you regret every second of the decision you just made. Ilia Topuria is entering this conversation right now, in real time, which should make the entire lightweight and featherweight division deeply uncomfortable. His balance, his shot selection, his ability to generate concussive power while staying technically grounded, it is the kind of boxing that looks effortless until you realize the work behind it is anything but. Here is the thing that most fans get wrong. Knockout power and boxing skill are not the same category. They overlap, but they are not the same. Some fighters carry nuclear warheads in their hands and have average boxing. Others have elite boxing and do not always finish fights clean. Confusing the two leads to completely wrong conclusions. It leads to people calling heavy-handed brawlers elite technicians and missing the actual craftsmen who are doing something much harder and much rarer right in front of them. Boxing in MMA is its own strange art form. The gloves are smaller. The stances are different. The constant threat of kicks and takedowns changes every calculation. And yet, within all of that chaos, the fighters at the top of this list still manage to separate themselves through something that looks almost like calm. They are not trying to win a single exchange. They're trying to win a war of information. And they usually do. So the next time you watch a fighter land a clean punch and hear someone call them an elite boxer, you will know exactly what questions to ask. Is there footwork or just forward pressure? Are those combinations or just two punches in a row? Is there head movement or just luck? Is there a trap being set or is someone just swinging? The answers to those questions will tell you everything. And once you start seeing those answers, you cannot stop seeing them. That is the point where boxing stops being something you watch and starts being something you actually understand. Which, as it turns out, is the same place this conversation began.